Chapter 687. This sun is not bad. It's suitable for my Devour Sun space-splitting secret method. Boy scram, otherwise die. The figure of a handsome young man with hair in a bun, an unearthly temperament, and an arrogant expression on his face turned clear, and he strangely appeared in front of the huge sun and looked at Yang Feng with pride in his eyes. Yang Feng glanced at the young man and said coldly, "This sun is really good, I like it as well." Scram, otherwise die. The young man said coldly, "Stubborn fellow, I am Magic Note Duo Xianxia. For you." Yang Feng replied, "Undying Mountains Lei Ming." Undying Mountains Lei Ming? Let me teach you, give you a lesson. Between warlocks, it's best not to answer the enemy's questions, or else this will happen. Xianxia showed a strange smile, and countless runes condensed in his hand and formed a golem that looks exactly like Yang Feng, engraved with countless mysterious runes. Xianxia squeezed the golem that looks exactly like Yang Feng, and it exploded. A strange force swept towards Yang Feng along an incredible law, as if to devour him in an instant. Fate algorithm. Countless runes gushed out of Yang Feng's eyes, and the breath of fate diffused from him, distorted the strange force, and transferred it to Xianxia. With a pop, Xianxia's face shimmered with horror, and he exploded in front of Yang Feng in an instant, and a copious amount of flesh and blood rushed towards Yang Feng as if they have a life of their own. Yang Feng took out a level 7 secret treasure Vulcan scepter and pointed at it, and violent purple flames suddenly appeared, frantically devoured the surrounding fire force, and formed a sea of purple fire that devoured, burned, and purified Xianxia's flesh and blood. Yang Feng glanced at an empty space and said coldly, "Come out. You're not dead yet, this little trick is useless." There was a slight distortion in the void, and Xianxia walked out and looked at Yang Feng with a gloomy look in his eyes. "What spell was that? My secret technique should be foolproof." With an indifferent expression on his face, Yang Feng took a step forward, blurred, and appeared in front of Xianxia. With a flick of his wrist, a level 7 secret treasure devourer sword suddenly appeared, and he slashed down, forming a small black hole that, as if it can devour everything, slashed towards Xianxia. "I've been underestimated. Damn you, Lei Ming, I'll let you see my true power." Solar transformation. Xianxia's eyes flashed fiercely, and he bellowed, and vast world force poured out of him. Countless runes flickered on his body, and he turned into a huge sun that barreled towards Yang Feng. The collision of a huge sun could easily destroy a star. This was the ultimate profundity of the sun transformation. Xianxia felt a great threat from Yang Feng, which is why he used his most powerful secret method. Interesting. Essence of Devour. An enigmatic ray streaked past Yang Feng's eyes, and he smiled and operated the essence of Devour, and a pitch-black Devour Black Moon, which seems to be able to devour all light, suddenly appeared. The Devour Black Moon, which seems to be able to devour everything, abruptly swallowed the huge sun that Xianxia has transformed into. The huge sun that Xianxia has transformed into erupted in an instant, and the temperature rose to 9 million degrees. Even if it was a bright world warlock, they would be burned or even seriously injured by the fearsome temperature. As if a huge black hole, the Devour Black Moon devoured light and heat. No matter how the huge sun that Xianxia has transformed into struggles, all its power was devoured by the Devour Black Moon. Endless power flowed out of the Devour Black Moon, entered Yang Feng's body, and poured into the 9 worlds inside him, nourishing the power of the 9 worlds inside him. My power has been absorbed by you. Let me go, let me live. I know I was wrong. I will definitely fuck off in the future. Let me go, give me a chance to live. I beg you. Lei Ming." From the Devour Black Moon came Xianxia's terrified screams and pleas. More than half of the power inside him has been devoured by the Devour Black Moon, injuring his glorious Dawn Warlock rank foundation. The most terrifying thing is that he can't escape even if he wants to. Yang Feng just sneered and watched. After a dozen-plus breaths of time, all of Xianxia's power was devoured by the Devour Black Moon, and only some ashes scattered in midair. The essence of devour is extremely powerful. However, it even devoured and destroyed that fellow's glorious dawn core and storage treasures. What a pity! Yang Feng glanced at the huge sun, then silently recited an incantation and pointed with a finger, and countless black runes flew out of his finger and formed a giant black net that swept towards the huge sun. When the huge sun was swept by the giant black net, it shrank until it was the size of a fist, and then flew into Yang Feng's body and entered his first world. As soon as the huge sun entered Yang Feng's first world, endless sunlight sprinkled on the earth. The extraordinary plants on the earth absorbed the sunlight and became more and more full of vitality. With the appearance of the sun, as if some law of the first world inside Yang Feng was perfected, the earth rumbled and shook, and thousands of kilometers of land extended. After absorbing the sun, Yang Feng continued to travel through Sun God Shrine. With the reconnaissance of the 100,000 drones, more than half of Sun God Shrine seemed to have been mapped, allowing him to know clearly which places have Sun God fires suitable for him. In just 3 days, Yang Feng killed 7 glorious sun warlocks from other planes and absorbed 9 suns. Now the 9 worlds inside him have suns, and they are in a perfect state. Yang Feng sensed the changes in his body, and a look of satisfaction streaked past his eyes. Not bad. With my current state, I can start breaking through and promote to a bright world warlock after returning to the Zhangji Plain. Sun God Shrine really deserves its reputation. Unfortunately, Moon God Shrine of the Archgod era isn't under the control of humans. Otherwise, absorbing the power of Moon God Shrine in the Moonlight Warlock rank would be even more perfect. Moon God Shrine was a shrine controlled by the Moonlight Emperor, a Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse who once dominated the Zhangji Plain in the Archgod era. Since the beginning of the Zhangji Plain's recorded history, the Moonlight Emperor was one of the less than 5 female Warlock Emperor rank powerhouses. At the time, there were 3 other Warlock Emperor rank powerhouses among the archgods of the same era as the Moonlight Emperor. However, they were all defeated by the Moonlight Emperor in a fair and square manner, and eventually acknowledged the Moonlight Emperor as their master. Moon God Shrine was one of the shrines controlled by the Moonlight Emperor. After advancing to the Starry Sky Warlock realm, the Time Lord was being hunted down. He sneaked into Moon God Shrine and absorbed its moonlight force, and finally broke through and promoted to a Moonlight Warlock rank powerhouse. Therefore, after the Starry Sky Warlock realm, human warlocks were named Moonlight Warlocks. After the collapse of the Third Warlock Dynasty, the Transcendent Dynasty, Moon God Shrine disappeared. Of course, at that time, human warlocks had already developed countless secret methods. Therefore, even if Moon God Shrine disappeared, it wouldn't affect the evolution of human warlocks. However, for the warlock geniuses who pursued perfection and were determined to step into the Warlock Emperor realm, the disappearance of Moon God Shrine was indeed a pity. If Moon God Shrine's Moonlight Force and Sun God Shrine's Sun Force could be completely integrated in the world inside you, you would be able to form a perfect Yin and Yang Force cycle. Although human warlocks have found other substitutes, but they were still slightly inferior to Moon God Shrine's Moonlight Force. As Yang Feng refined the suns into his body, countless level 4 sealers joined hands to cast seal light and sealed the suns in the sky, and then dragged them back to the base and teleported back to the Andrak plane. Each of the small suns evolved from Sun God Fire in Sun God Shrine is a huge energy source. For Yang Feng, this place is the best energy warehouse. The energy contained in each small sun evolved from Sun God Fire could easily be converted into the energy generated by all power plants within Yang Feng's sphere of influence for 10 years. Yang Feng glanced at the holographic projection and couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. The 6-winged sun-devouring centipede is like a fish in water here. This little fellow has already devoured 72 suns. Amazing! The 6-winged sun-devouring centipede was even more active than Yang Feng in Sun God Shrine. Under the guidance of the level 4 optical computer, it devoured one sun after another. Every time it devoured a sun-like imprint appeared on its carapace, and it exuded an increasingly fearsome aura. If it wasn't for the suppression of Sun God Shrine's barrier, it might have already evolved into a bright world warlock rank 6-winged sun-devouring centipede. At this moment, an extremely dazzling pillar of light suddenly rose from the center of the solar divine palace. At the center of the pillar of light, a mysterious flower with 9 petals and 4 green leaves slowly bloomed. It was engraved with natural runes. The entire solar divine palace trembled slightly. The small suns containing the solar divine flame turned into streams of light and crazily flew towards the magical flower in the center of the light beam. They merged into the magical flower and became its nutrients. Chapter 688. That's the Sun God Empyrean Flower, a treasure of heaven and earth born from the essence of countless suns. If you consume the entire Sun God Empyrean Flower, you'll be able to break through the God-man boundary and let a warlock with superior level 8 soul aptitude reach inferior level 9. Yang Feng looked at the mystical flower in the center of the beam with a fanatical gleam in his eyes. His figure fluttered, and he turned into a stream of light flying towards the Sun God Empyrean Flower. Treasures of heaven and earth that can let people break through the God-man boundary are very rare in the Zhangji plane. As for treasures of heaven and earth that can let people break through the God-man boundary, they are even rarer in the Zhangji plane. The Sun God Empyrean Flower is a treasure that can only be encountered by chance. It takes more than 50,000 years to form a flower in a special environment. Once it appears, it will cause countless people to fight over it. The Sun God Empyrean Flower. That's the Sun God Empyrean Flower, a peerless treasure that can let people break through the God-man boundary. I'm really lucky to see such a peerless treasure like the Sun God Empyrean Flower this time. In the Sun Divine Palace, the monstrous geniuses from different planes looked at the Sun Divine Empyrean Flower that had suddenly appeared. Their eyes were filled with excitement. With a slight sway of their bodies, they turned into streams of light and flew towards the Sun Divine Empyrean Flower. The Sun God Empyrean Flower is located in the center of Sun God Shrine, which is the former resting palace of the Sun Emperor. It is also the most dangerous place in Sun God Shrine. In the past, no one would easily approach this dangerous place, but attracted by the Sun God Empyrean Flower, the Sun luminary geniuses from other planes turned into streams of light and flew towards the center of the Sun Divine Palace. A male warlock dressed in a green warlock robe, covered in flames, and with a necklace exuding bright light on his chest quickly flew to the edge of the center of Sun God Shrine. At the edge of the center of Sun God Shrine, you can clearly see that there are large caves that look like huge nests in the center of Sun God Shrine. Around the large cavern were stone statues with special runes engraved on them. They were all demons, devils, high elves, dragons, phoenixes, and other powerful existences that had existed since the Age of Eternals. The male warlock has just approached, when countless runes emerged on a 1,000-meter-tall giant stone statue, and the petrification effect on the giant stone statue disappeared in an instant. The 1,000-meter-tall giant stone statue opened its eyes, and red light diffused from its eyes and exuded tyrannical glorious sun warlock rank breath. The stone statue giant took a step forward, drew the mountain-like wolf-tooth club beside it, and mercilessly slammed it towards the male warlock. A mere giant from the ancient era dares to oppose me? You overestimate yourself. The male glorious sun warlock snorted coldly, his figure blurred, and he appeared in an alternate space, a space of a completely different dimension from the main world. Only by using a spell that interferes with space, or by elevating the law of power to the level of the essence of power, will it be possible to shatter the vacuum in space, and then attack the male glorious sun warlock in the alternate space. When the stone statue giant's wolf-tooth club slammed into the male glorious sun warlock, but as if it hit the air, it passed by the male glorious sun warlock, slammed into the ground, and blasted open a large hole and raised countless gravel. Just as the male glorious sun warlock sneered, a palm-sized four-winged void lizard flew out of the alternate space and bit the male glorious sun warlock's foot. Black gas suddenly rose from the male glorious sun warlock's foot and spread rapidly. A necklace on the chest of the glorious sun warlock suddenly lit up, and green light enveloped the glorious sun warlock and blocked the black gas in his lower body. A sun god arrow tore through the void, passed through the alternate space, and shot into the head of the glorious sun warlock in an instant and blasted it to pieces. The body of the glorious Sun Warlock suddenly shattered like paper, and an afterimage suddenly formed 1,000 meters away and turned into the glorious Sun Warlock's true body. The glorious Sun Warlock has just formed, when a fearsome dragon breath slammed into him, and the dragon breath capable of burning everything devoured his flesh and soul. A bead suddenly shattered, and the body of the glorious Sun Warlock collapsed and reappeared more than 10 kilometers away. The glorious Sun Warlock has just escaped, when he saw dozens of existences exuding glorious Sun Warlock rank power rushing towards him. Various attacks slammed into the glorious Sun Warlock and blasted him to pieces again. Relying on an endless supply of secret treasures, the glorious Sun Warlock escaped 7 times from the joint attack of dozens of fearsome ancient monsters, but in the end, he was still torn to pieces by the dozens of glorious Sun Warlock rank ancient monsters. None of the ancient monsters were the opponent of the glorious Sun Warlock. But when dozens of ancient monsters with different extraordinary powers attacked together, the extremely powerful glorious Sun Warlock, who was a rare genius in the outside world, couldn't resist them. At the moment when the human warlock was torn to pieces, a black hole opened and devoured his flesh, soul, and glorious sun core. Before long, in a corner of the center of Sun God Shrine, a lifelike statue of a human warlock slowly took shape. At the same time, it absorbed the sun force around Sun God Shrine. When the human glorious Sun Warlock died, as if some mechanism was triggered, the stone carvings all over Sun God Shrine shone brightly and came to life. The figures of the ancient monsters, who seemed to have awakened from a deep sleep, flickered and hid in nest-like places in the center of Sun God Shrine. Whenever a human warlock approached the nests of the ancient monsters, they would move together and annihilate the human warlocks one by one. These ancient monsters possess glorious Sun Warlock rank battle prowess. When dozens of them join forces, even a freakish glorious Sun Warlock with a small world inside them may not be their opponent. Yang Feng mobilized 50,000 drones to the center of Sun God Shrine. At a glance, he saw the ancient monsters fighting the glorious Sun Warlock rank existences that entered Sun God Shrine. In addition to human warlocks, there are many powerful existences that can use Sun God fire that entered Sun God Shrine. Yang Feng discovered that 15 gods with the divine authority of Sun God are fighting the ancient monsters. The advancement of gods can be said to be both simple and frighteningly difficult. If a god can devour the godhead of a higher god with the divine authority of the same god, they can easily evolve and become a higher-level god. Without devouring the godhead of a higher god, it is very difficult to improve the godhead's rank through other methods. Many feeble divine force rank gods have remained at the feeble divine force rank for tens of thousands of years or even hundreds of thousands of years, unable to advance to a higher level. This is the limitation of gods. In Sun God Shrine, if the sun gods with the divine authority of the sun can devour enough sun god fire, they may comprehend a higher level of the law of the sun and promote their godhead to the intermediate divine force rank. In this way, their status in the pantheon will be greatly improved. In the god system, an intermediate divine force rank god already has the qualifications to establish a small pantheon and become the primary god of a pantheon. The primary god of the Dark Elves Lolth is just an intermediate divine force rank god. Even so, she has grasped the faith of the Dark Elves in countless planes and has become a revered existence. An intermediate divine force rank god, even human infinity warlocks will be in awe of them and interact with them as equals. After all, as long as intermediate divine force rank gods stay in their divine country, even if it is human infinity warlocks who enter their divine country, they will only die. The number of ancient freaks is far greater than that of the powerhouses who entered Sun God Shrine. Besieged by the ancient freaks, one powerful existence after another was killed. That's Ba Sun, Lan Ba, Jiang Qi. Yang Feng glanced at the holographic projection and saw that at the edge of Sun God Shrine, Great Cloud Dynasty's 3 outrageous geniuses are contending with Sun God Shrine's freaks. Standing on a 500-meter-tall diamond giant, Ba Sun's figure blurred and became clear. Whenever his figure appeared on the head of a diamond giant, the core of an ancient freak will be directly destroyed, and the body will fall to the ground. Xianxia, on the other hand, strolled among the ancient freaks like an illusion. His body seems to be shrouded in a strange gauze mist. As if blind, the ancient freaks didn't notice him at all. Lanba is sitting on a carriage pulled by a three-headed gold dragon. In front of him stands 9 giant ogre powerhouses from the evil god plane exuding a fierce aura. The 9 giant ogres are equipped with secret treasures exclusive to giant ogres. They roared in a frenzy and activated their powerful ghost power to kill the ancient creatures that were blocking their way. At the edge of Sun God Shrine, among the human warlocks from the Xianxia Plain, only the 3 of them seemed to be at ease. The other human warlocks from the Xianxia Plain unleashed powerful secret methods and fought the ancient life forms. The glorious Sun 7 Stars and the former Moonlight 7 Stars warlocks also urged the power of the virtual world inside them and unleashed formidable offensive secret methods to destroy the ancient life forms one by one. Chapter 689. Those few are also freaks among freaks. It seems that they are peerless powerhouses cultivated by other planes. None of them can be underestimated. The holographic projection flickered and adjusted to another direction. In other directions, there were also 3 people who displayed unfathomable and terrifying strength. One of them is a beautiful warlock with long black hair and a slender figure. She has a dragon horn on her head, a scarlet trident in her hand, a green armor engraved with countless mysterious runes, and a head full of long black hair. The beautiful warlock's figure flickered, and she brandished the scarlet trident in her hand, and a scarlet ray shot out and slashed an ancient freak to pieces. The encirclement of dozens of ancient fiend monsters was easily dodged by her. Then she killed them one by one. Another person is holding a secret treasure transcendent diagram, and dozens of glorious sun warlock rank transcendent flew out of the transcendent diagram, fought the dozens of ancient freaks, and tore them apart one by one. The last one transformed into a 500-meter-tall ancient devil with 3 eyes and black runes all over its body. It was very similar to the 5th heaven's devil Che. When the black light shot out of his 3rd eye, the souls of the ancient freaks shattered, their cores shattered, and they turned into immobile corpses. Ba Sun, Lan Ba, Xianxia, and the 3 terrifying experts from the other planes crushed their way, killing all the ancient demonic beasts in their way. They forcefully carved out a path of blood as they walked towards the sun god Empyrean flower. Even someone as strong as Ba Sun and the other peerless geniuses don't dare to fly directly towards the sun god Empyrean flower while facing the attacks of countless ancient freaks. It turns out that there are ancient freaks guarding this place. It seems that the sun god Empyrean flower is destined to be mine. The corners of Yang Feng's mouth rose, then his figure fluttered, and he turned into a devour black moon and flew towards the sun god Empyrean flower like a meteor. The sun god Empyrean flower is a peerless treasure that can break the god-man boundary. Yang Feng has the resources of the entire Ligui province and the treasury of 2 kindred grand dukes, but he still hasn't found such a treasure. He can't miss this treasure. Within a few breaths of time, Yang Feng flew into the center of Sun God Shrine. Dozens of ancient freaks suddenly poured out of their nests, cast various innate abilities, and barreled towards Yang Feng. The dragon breath, the elven arrows of high elves, the blood flames of true blood kindred, the demonic flames of abyssal fiends, and other attacks slammed into Yang Feng. The devour moon that Yang Feng has transformed into looks like a bottomless black hole that can devour everything. When the powerful existence's attacks slammed into the devour moon, they were completely devoured and crushed, and turned into the purest energy that entered the 9 small worlds inside him. Without any intention of stopping, Yang Feng urged the essence of devour, turned into a devour black moon, flew into the center of Sun God Shrine, and flew towards the Sun God Empyrean flower. Who is that? What an arrogant fellow! Damn it! According to his speed, the Sun God Empyrean flower will fall into his hands. Is that guy crazy? There are more than 1,000 ancient freaks in the center of Sun God Shrine. Sun God Shrine is a gathering of freakish geniuses of various planes, freakish glorious sun warlocks. When Yang Feng moved, they all sensed the change, and their eyes focused on the devour black moon. Nangong Wumi was currently entangled with dozens of ancient devil beasts. Relying on the mysterious star descent technique, he was constantly dodging the attacks of the ancient devil beasts. His life wasn't in danger, and at the same time, he was slowly weakening the ancient devil beasts' fighting strength. Nangong Wumi suddenly raised his head and looked into the distance. Countless star runes flashed in his eyes, and he sighed slowly. This is law realization. No, it's the essence of devour. That's Lei Ming. He made a move. Nangong Wumi has mastered stars descend and is a grandmaster of divination spells. He has already prophesied that the Sun God Empyrean Flower in Sun God Shrine is a turning point in his fate. If he can get the Sun God Empyrean Flower, he will have a glimmer of hope to promote to a Warlock Emperor. If he loses the Sun God Empyrean Flower, he will no longer be qualified to participate in the struggle for the position of Warlock Emperor. At the time, when the Star Lord and the Nine Realms Lord competed for the position of Warlock Emperor, they won at the most critical turning point in their fate and obtained great benefits. Finally, they ascended to the throne in one fell swoop and promoted to a Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse. If I use my trump card and fight to the death, what are my odds of winning? Star deduction. Nangong Wumi silently recited an incantation and pointed with a finger, and countless stars shone and formed all kinds of incredible runes. Those strange runes suddenly transformed into countless strange lines, and they twisted and trembled as they changed into lines that only he could understand. Less than 5% chance of winning, and if I fail, I will die. Nangong Wumi's face turned pale, his eyes flickered for a while, and then he finally sighed and lost his fighting spirit. He doesn't even have 10% chance of winning, and if he fails, he will die. This kind of success rate was too low, extinguishing his adventurous heart. I'm still too weak. Nangong Wumi's figure flickered, and he turned into motes of starlight, disappearing from where he was. He retreated from the Solar Divine Palace's central control. Bai Yuxian stood on a tall mountain at the edge of the central area of the Solar Divine Palace. She looked at Lei Ming from afar, and her beautiful eyes flashed with a strange light. That's Lei Ming. He was really bold, daring to charge into the center of the Solar Divine Palace like this. What a monster! Although Bai Yuxian was also one of the Moonlight Seven Stars, a genius among geniuses. But after all, she has just promoted to a glorious Sun Warlock, and her accumulation is still shallow. Facing the siege of dozens of glorious Sun Warlock rank ancient freaks, she has no chance of winning. After weighing the pros and cons, she chose to observe from the outside. In addition to Bai Yuxian, after weighing the pros and cons, many other glorious Sun Warlocks chose to withdraw from the center of Sun God Shrine and come to the edge of Sun God Shrine to watch quietly. Curses, someone attacked first. It seems that I can't continue to conserve my strength. Ba Sun's eyes shimmered coldly, and tremendous world force exuded from him. He operated the essence of ice, turned into a ray of ice, and flew towards the Sun God Empyrean Flower. When the attacks of the ancient freaks blasted into Ba Sun's body, they were frozen, and then shattered and disappeared. They're all moving. I can't be too slow. Jiang Qi strolled among the ancient life forms, making them unable to discover him. However, his movement speed wasn't fast. After all, the ancient life forms were extremely powerful, and there were even many ancient variant species that could break his secret methods. After he sensed Yang Feng and Ba Sun's movements, he unleashed the essence of dream. As if he was in a dream, he turned into a strange existence that exists in the crevice between dream and reality, and flew towards the Sun God Empyrean Flower. Really? It seems that I have to do it myself. Lan Ba's eyes shimmered coldly, and he stood up from the chariot, and quasi-bright world warlock rank life force surged. With a flick of his wrist, a black level 9 secret treasure evil ogre dragon armor inlaid with an infinity warlock rank evil ogre core appeared on him. Lan Ba's figure fluttered, and then he turned into a black ray flying towards the Sun God Empyrean Flower. The spells of those ancient monsters bombarded Lan Ba's body one after another. The evil ghost dragon armor was shrouded in ghostly qi, forcibly shattering the spells of those ancient monsters. Some ancient freaks with innate abilities broke through the ogre chi of the evil ogre dragon armor, but they only managed to shake the armor slightly. 70% of the power was absorbed by the evil ogre dragon armor, and the remaining 30% couldn't even shake Lan Ba. Bastard! The sun god Empyrean flower is my spoils of war. The eyes of the beautiful woman with dragon horns shimmered fiercely, and then they turned into vertical dragon eyes, and countless gold dragon scales covered her delicate body. Her figure fluttered, and she turned into a female Tyrannosaurus and rushed towards the center of Sun God Shrine. Halberd rays flashed, and the ancient freaks blocking in front of the beautiful woman with dragon horns were easily chopped to pieces. Because they have been sealed for too long, these ancient freaks have lost most of their sanity. But they do possess glorious Dawn Warlock rank power and formidable fleshly bodies. For the beautiful woman with dragon horns to be able to easily slay them, this is simply heaven-defying. What a bunch of lunatics, damn it. The warlock holding the secret treasure transcendent diagram frowned, then silently recited an incantation and pointed with a finger, and transcendent specializing in defense flew out from the transcendent diagram, formed a powerful barrier, and turned into a stream of light and flew towards the center of Sun God Shrine. The warlock who has transformed into the heavenly devil chariot roared, and a pair of huge devil wings grew on his back. With a flap of his wings, he turned into a black stream of light and flew towards the center of Sun God Shrine. When Yang Feng flew to the center of Sun God Shrine, he saw a 100,000-meter tall, magnificent temple appear in front of him. However, half of the majestic divine hall seemed to have been wiped away by someone with boundless power. Only a damaged half remained standing in the world. There are countless giant stone statues around the huge temple, many of which exude infinity warlock rank fluctuations of power. But they are already fragmented, leaving only a bit of remnant fluctuations of power. Chapter 690. Yang Feng looked at the half of Sun God Shrine that has been forcibly erased, and he recalled the history of the Sun Gods. When the Sun Emperor was alive, he was invincible in the world. In his later years, in order to let the Sun Gods dominate the world, he sneak-attacked several other Warlock Emperor rank powerhouses and killed them all. After the Sun Emperor's lifespan ran out, the Sun Gods were still arrogant and domineering, and they became enemies with many archgods of the Zhangji Plain. In the end, countless archgods joined forces to fight the Sun Gods. In the early stage of the war, the Sun Gods had Empyrean-grade secret treasures that the Sun Emperor refined several other Warlock Emperor rank powerhouses into, which suppressed and killed countless other archgods. However, in the later stage of the war, a peerless genius emerged from among the many archgods, advanced continuously, and finally became a Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse. He led many archgods to attack Sun God Shrine and exterminate the Sun Gods. The center of Sun God Shrine is full of wreckage. Although there are no guards, but it contains far more killing intent than the outside world. In the center of Sun God Shrine, there are traces of holy grade power and even Empyrean grade power. The power of Warlock Emperor rank powerhouses has a trace of eternal immortality. Unless it is erased by a power of the same rank, it won't fade even after hundreds of thousands of years. In Sun God Shrine, the sun force pervading everywhere is absorbed by the traces of Empyrean grade power and turned into a source of power. Even if it is an infinity warlock, once they stimulate the traces of Empyrean grade power, they will be seriously injured or even killed. Only Holy Spirit Warlock rank powerhouses can resist the attack of traces of Empyrean grade power. Transcendent pupils. Countless runes appeared in Yang Feng's eyes and formed a pair of gold transcendent pupils, and he looked towards the center. In the center, traces of holy grade and Empyrean grade power appeared in Yang Feng's eyes. If you use transcendent pupils to study traces of holy grade and Empyrean grade power all year round, it will be of great benefit to your glorious Dawn Warlock cultivation. Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he turned into a stream of light that entered the center and forced the traces of holy grade and Empyrean grade power to fly inside. After a dozen-plus breaths of time, a sun pool appeared in front of Yang Feng. In that sun pond, there were many sun divine flames floating. From time to time, A sun divine flame would condense into a small sun and fly out. That sun pond was the most famous secret treasure of the sun god race in the past. It was one with the entire sun god palace, and in this special plane, it could absorb the power of the sun and give birth to sun god flames. In the past, after an adult member of the sun god race absorbed sun god fire, they would possess glorious dawn warlock rank strength, which was why they were able to suppress the many archgods of the Zhangji plane. Above the sun pond was the precious sun god Empyrean flower. So that's how it is. The sun pool is a vessel for cultivating the sun god Empyrean flower. A warlock emperor rank powerhouse set up a magic barrier here. Unless a powerhouse of the same rank takes action, no one can destroy the sun pool. Yang Feng glanced at the sun pool and sensed that it is shrouded in a powerful barrier. His figure fluttered, and in an instant, he appeared in front of the sun god Empyrean flower. To dare attack the thing I fancy in front of me, go to hell. A cold ray suddenly flashed in Yang Feng's eyes. Countless runes appeared on his right fist, and he punched towards an empty place. Under the bombardment of Yang Feng's fist, the space distorted and collapsed, as if a world was shattered. Shrouded by a force capable of distorting and collapsing everything, a glorious dawn warlock suddenly appeared, and then exploded into countless pieces of flesh and blood that collapsed inch by inch, leaving only a glorious dawn core that fell to the ground. So strong. Who is he? Who is this human warlock? How can he be so strong? The Undying Mountain's Lei Ming, how can he be this strong? Even if he defeated Nangong Wumi, but he's still too strong. So this is the Undying Mountain's Lei Ming, what a terrible monster. Outside the center of Sun God Shrine, the glorious dawn warlocks who cast spells to spy on this side were stunned, unable to believe their eyes. The glorious dawn warlocks who dare to enter Sun God Shrine are all geniuses among geniuses, far stronger than other glorious dawn warlocks of the same rank. These glorious dawn warlocks may not be a match for monster-level geniuses like the Great Cloud Dynasty's glorious Dawn 7 stars, but they aren't ants that can be insta-killed by a glorious Dawn 7-star powerhouse. Shock flashed in Nangong Wumi's eyes, and he sighed faintly, so strong. Lei Ming, he's actually this strong. It seems that even if I use all my trump cards, I still won't be his opponent. Bai Yuxian looked at Yang Feng with an enigmatic gleam in her beautiful eyes, and she mused, amazing. The Undying Mountain's Lei Ming, he's actually this strong. What a surprise. He should be the most outstanding genius of this generation of the Undying Mountain, and he's expected to take charge of the entire Undying Mountain. After killing a glorious dawn warlock genius with a punch, Yang Feng grabbed the Sun God Empyrean flower midair, placed it in a jade box, engraved countless runes, and sealed it. Once the Sun God Empyrean flower is consumed, Yang Feng will break through the Godman boundary, and his soul aptitude will advance to the inferior level 9 soul aptitude that only warlock emperors can advance to. To refine the Sun God Empyrean flower's medicinal power, you need to refine it in a place where no one will disturb you. Once Yang Feng consumes the Sun God Empyrean flower here, he will definitely become the prey of other glorious dawn warlocks. Human warlocks are proficient in countless mysterious and mystical secret methods. They can capture Yang Feng, who has just consumed the Sun God Empyrean flower, and refine him into a new elixir. He's here? That's fast. As expected of a peerless genius. Yang Feng put the Sun God Empyrean flower into a storage ring and stood loftily in the void, looking down like a god. Ba Sun, Jiang Qi, Lan Ba, and the other 3 monster-rank glorious dawn warlocks have already arrived next to the sun pool and stared coldly at Yang Feng. Ba Sun looked at Yang Feng with killing intent in his eyes and said coldly, Lei Ming, hand over the Sun God Empyrean flower, and for the sake of the Undying Mountain, I will let you go. Otherwise, I won't show any mercy when we fight later. The Undying Mountain has an illustrious reputation in the circle of top powerhouses in the Great Cloud Dynasty. Everyone knows that this is a powerful force that has an infinity warlock, occupies the entire Ligui province, and is proficient in alchemy and golem arts. Even the Great Cloud Dynasty is somewhat apprehensive of the mysterious undying mountain entrenched in the Ligui province, and has sent people to rope them in. Ba Sun doesn't want to offend the undying mountain's young master for no reason. Although Ba Sun can barely contend against some weak Bright World warlocks, but in front of a true Infinity warlock, he still can't withstand a single blow. Unless absolutely necessary, he doesn't want to die in the hands of an Infinity warlock. Yang Feng uttered with a faint smile, "The Sun God Empyrean flower is a rare treasure of heaven and earth. I won't give it to anyone. If you want the Sun God Empyrean flower, then come and snatch it with your own ability. Come at me together. Let me test how strong I am right now." How arrogant! Let me show you the immensity of heaven and earth. Ba Sun's eyes shimmered coldly, and he urged the essence of ice, and a blue stream of ice that can easily freeze sun god fire, completely violating the laws of heaven and earth, swept towards him. In the wake of the blue stream of ice, everything was frozen. In the center of Sun God Shrine, the temperature of the surrounding environment is above 8,000 degrees Celsius. When the blue stream of ice emerged, except for the sun pool, the surrounding environment was instantly covered in ice and snow, and the temperature dropped below absolute zero. Even the feeble divine force rank goddess of ice will be frozen by the ice. The other 5 glorious sun warlocks frowned slightly, and then cast secret methods to resist the fearsome ice force. This guy is very strong. When the 5 glorious sun warlocks sensed Ba Sun's essence of ice, a dignified shade streaked past their eyes. Faced with the blue stream of ice that seems to be able to freeze even time, Yang Feng silently recited an incantation, and a Devour Black Moon suddenly appeared. He is in the center of the Devour Black Moon, looking like the origin of the universe. When the blue stream of ice slammed into the Devour Black Moon, it was silently devoured and disintegrated. Standing inside the Devour Black Moon, Yang Feng, like an invincible god, looked down at Ba Sun and said coldly, "The Dubhe star of the moonlight 7 stars, Ba Sun, isn't this all you have? If that's the case, then I'm very disappointed." Ba Sun's face fell, and he gritted his teeth and issued a shrill howl. A tremendous amount of virtual world force gushed out, turned the blue stream of ice into a blue beam, and slammed into the Devour Black Moon. As soon as the blue beam of light entered the Devour Black Moon, it was devoured and turned into the purest force that entered Yang Feng's 9 worlds. Yang Feng looked at the other 5 monster-level geniuses and said lightly, "Okay, Ba Sun has started. Which one of you wants to continue? Do you want to come together or one by one? If you don't defeat me, you won't get the Sun God Empyrean flower." Amazing! Undying Mountain's young master Lei Ming is really scary. Too scary. Ba Sun is a powerhouse who has found his path and condensed the essence of ice. Yet such a powerhouse can't even break his defense. How terrifying. Is this a top glorious sun warlock? He's not on the same level as us. When the glorious sun warlocks watching from afar saw this scene, their hearts shook slightly and filled with bitterness. Chapter 691. Xianxia barked, "Let's attack together. His strength is far beyond ours. Let's join forces and kill him. Then we'll divide the Sun God Empyrean flower equally." Xianxia's words have yet to fall. When his eyes suddenly shimmered with determination, his whole body became blurry, and a faint and illusory aura diffused from him. Without even moving his hand, Yang Feng swept Xianxia with a glance and said calmly, "Illusion. Xianxia, when it comes to sneak attacks and ambushes, you pose the greatest threat to me. Unfortunately, in a head-on fight, you're the weakest in front of my essence of Devour." In front of the essence of Devour materialized Devour Black Moon, Xianxia's illusion power was completely devoured as soon as it approached. It couldn't even touch Yang Feng. The glorious Sun Warlock holding the level 9 secret treasure transcendent diagram frowned and took a step forward, saying, "I, 9 Gods Pavilions Yanjun, will fight you." The transcendent diagram shone, and one glorious Sun Warlock ranked transcendent after another flew out. Flames, ice cones, wind blades, spatial blades, and dozens of other pinnacle glorious sun warlock rank spells turned into a torrent of spells and barreled towards Yang Feng in a perfect rhythm. When the dozens of pinnacle glorious sun warlock rank spells slammed into Yang Feng's Devour Black Moon, they were silently devoured by the Devour Black Moon. They couldn't even touch Yang Feng. With his hands behind his back, Yang Feng stood in the center of the Devour Black Moon like an invincible transcendent and uttered indifferently, "Yan Jun, bring out your true strength. If this is your strongest power, then your strength is much weaker than Ba Sun's. No, you're no match for Ba Sun. Ogre God Mountain's Che Jinquang will fight you." The huge devil who has transformed into the fifth heaven devil Che roared, the vertical eye on his forehead flashed, and a gray ray suddenly flew out and slammed into Yang Feng's Devour Black Moon. When the gray ray shone on the Devour Black Moon formed from the essence of Devour, it showed faint signs of collapse. Ogre God Mountain's Che Jinquang? Very well, you're very strong. You are strong enough to be my opponent, so you can die now. Yang Feng smiled. Besieged by the four monstrous geniuses, he took a step, blurred, and appeared above Che Jinquang. Countless runes condensed in his foot, and he stomped on Che Jinquang's head. World force of the 9 worlds was extracted by the world ring and formed a rune that slammed into Che Jinquang's head. Rumble. Along with an earth-shattering noise, Che Jing, who had transformed into the devil Che of the fifth heaven, was crushed into minced meat, and countless cells turned into ashes. You want to use a death substitution artifact to save your life? It was useless. Die. Yang Feng smiled coldly, operated Fate algorithm, and extended his hand, and a Devour Black Moon suddenly appeared and frantically devoured the void. One after another, the death substitution corporeal bodies flew out from the void and exploded. When the 7th death substitution corporeal body exploded, a glorious sun core was directly devoured by the Devour Black Moon amidst a series of miserable screams. As a glorious sun warlock rank powerhouse, Che Jinquang was proficient in countless secret methods, including death substitution secret methods. He created 7 death substitutes. Originally, the 7 scapegoats could have helped him withstand 7 fatal injuries. But under Yang Feng's fate algorithm, they couldn't withstand a single blow and were killed in an instant. Even his true body couldn't escape death. Che Jinquang was a powerhouse who formed a virtual world. At the moment when he died, his virtual world began to collapse. At the moment when his virtual world was about to explode, Yang Feng's Devour Black Moon swallowed Che Jinquang's virtual world. Che Jinquang is dead. Undying Mountain's Lei Ming is this strong. How can there be such a strong monster? Is this a freak genius who can attack the Warlock Emperor realm? I didn't feel anything when I read about them in the history books, but only when I see them in person can I feel how terrifying they are. On the periphery of Sun God Shrine's central area, the warlocks who cast various spells to spy on the central area were struck dumb, unable to believe their eyes. For Che Jinquang to be able to crush his way to the central area, his strength is definitely above that of other glorious sun warlocks. Yet such a peerless genius was easily killed by Yang Feng. A look of incredulity welled up in the hearts of the glorious sun warlocks. When the 5 freak geniuses in the central area saw this scene, their hearts shook slightly. As the strongest warlock geniuses, they have mastered many life-saving secret methods. Now it seems that the life-saving secret methods they prepared may not work in front of Yang Feng. Jiangqi, since you attacked me, then go to hell. Yang Feng's body blurred, and the Devour Black Moon suddenly disappeared, and then strangely appeared in a fog. He stretched out his hand and made a grabbing motion. A devouring black moon swept towards the empty void. In the empty void, Jiangqi's distorted figure instantly appeared, and he struggled as he was devoured by the Devour Black Moon with a look of horror and despair on his face. A miserable scream came from the Devour Black Moon. Soon, a glorious sun core flew out of the Devour Black Moon and fell into Yang Feng's hand. Ba Sun looked at Yang Feng, his mind shaken, and his eyes shimmered with despair. So strong. Undying Mountain's Lei Ming is actually this strong. Is the gap between me and him that big? Ba Sun is a peerless genius who formed a virtual world. the first star of the moonlight 7 stars, the Dubhe star. He has always been proud and confident, believing that he is the best candidate to become a warlock emperor in the future. Today's battle showed him the terror of a powerhouse qualified to compete for the warlock emperor rank. Ba Sun, release your soul and let me set up a soul brand, and I will spare your life. Otherwise, since you dared to attack me, then this will be your burial ground. Standing inside the devour black moon, the glorious sun cores of Jiangqi and Che Jingquang floated beside him. The devouring black moon was like an invincible defense, easily devouring the attacks of dozens of solar glory demon gods that Yan Jun had released, making him look like an invincible overlord. I, Ba Sun, am the man who will become a warlock emperor in the future. I can be defeated, I can die, but I will never yield. Ba Sun's eyes flashed with pride, and he issued a heaven-shaking roar. Countless runes appeared on his body, and he took out a pair of palm-sized blue secret treasures and pressed them on his back. Bright blue light shone, and a pair of ice wings appeared on his back. You want to escape? Unfortunately, you're a step too slow. At the moment when the ice wings appeared, Yang Feng's figure appeared behind Ba Sun and became clear. With a wave of his hand, a claw stabbed into Ba Sun's heart, and a devour black moon engulfed Ba Sun in an instant. If you want to kill me, then let's perish together. A look of madness surged in Ba Sun's eyes, and the virtual world inside him trembled and exploded in an instant. With him as the core, fearsome world collapse force spread in all directions, equivalent to the explosion of 10,000-10,000-ton nuclear warheads. Boom! An earth-shattering explosion rang out from the central area. Terrifying shock waves set off waves of air that swept the countless remains of the stone statues in all directions. Is he dead? Ba Sun is dead. Perishing together, this may be the best outcome. The glorious sun warlocks on the edge of the central area looked towards the center of the explosion with complicated looks in their eyes. Yang Feng's strength is far beyond the imagination of these glorious sun warlocks. Even ordinary junior bright world warlocks are far weaker than Yang Feng. These glorious sun warlocks are all geniuses among geniuses. Each of them is ambitious, hoping to become the next human warlock emperor and suppress countless planes. Naturally, they don't want to see Yang Feng still alive. Under the gazes of countless glorious sun warlocks, a devour black moon rose from the fearsome explosion. Enveloped by the devour black moon, there is not a trace of injury on Yang Feng's body. He looks like an immortal transcendent. He's not injured at all. What a freak! Who else can be his opponent? When the glorious sun warlocks on the periphery saw this scene, they inhaled a breath of cold air. Even the explosion of a peerless genius like Ba Sun can't injure Yang Feng in the slightest. Yang Feng's battle prowess is far beyond the imagination of these glorious sun warlocks. You're next. Yan Jun, go to hell. Eyes filled with indifference, Yang Feng looked at Yan Jun and uttered flatly, as if a god pronouncing judgment on a mortal. You want to kill me? Let's see if you have the ability. Man diagram unity. A cold ray flashed in Yan Jun's eyes, and he silently recited an incantation and pointed with a finger, and the level 9 secret treasure transcendent diagram absorbed all the transcendent and suddenly swept Yan Jun inside. Bright light shone, and Yan Jun turned into a 3-meter-tall freak engraved with countless mysterious runes, each of which looks like the head of a transcendent, exuding fearsome aura. Hundreds of transcendent auras diffused from the freak, and a powerful life force soared into the sky, as if to tear the sky apart. If it wasn't for the boundary of Sun God Shrine restricting everyone's strength, the freak would have been able to promote to a bright world warlock rank existence. Chapter 692. Standing inside the devour black moon, Yang Feng uttered with a faint smile, "Interesting. The transcendent diagram is really a powerful secret treasure. With the man diagram fusion, you can borrow the power of the transcendent diagram. With your glorious Dawn Warlock rank cultivation base, how many seconds can you last? After casting the man diagram fusion, with my strength, I can last for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is enough to kill you. From the monster Yanjun has transformed into came a distorted voice that seems to be a combination of hundreds of voices. A pair of angel wings extended from Yanjun's back, and a blade demon bone blade from the evil god plane, which is said to be able to slay any existence, ejected from his right hand. The law of wind surged, Yanjun's figure blurred, and he strangely appeared inside the devour black moon and sent a fist surrounded by endless lightning barreling towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng punched out and collided with Yanjun's fist. A violent shock wave surged from the two fists, and Yang Feng was blasted hundreds of meters away. Yanjun was also pushed back dozens of meters by the huge recoil. He was repelled. He was finally repelled. Amazing, Yanjun may have a chance to kill him. Seeing the godlike Yang Feng inside the devour black moon being repelled, the spectating glorious dawn warlocks showed looks of excitement. The pressure Yang Feng put on these glorious dawn warlocks was too great. As long as he was alive, these warlock geniuses would feel powerless. Interesting, my devour black moon can't devour your power. As expected of the level 9 secret treasure transcendent diagram. I'll be a little more serious in killing you. Yang Feng smiled slightly, and the devour black moon retracted to a distance of 3 meters away from him. With a flash of black light, Yang Feng appeared in front of Yanjun, so fast. The third eye opened on Yanjun's forehead barely captured Yang Feng's movement trajectory. He operated a secret method and met Yang Feng head-on. Boom, boom, boom. Huge explosions kept ringing in the center of the solar divine palace. Lightning, fire, ice, venom, and other forces blasted towards Yang Feng from Yanjun's incarnation of a freak. With the power of the level 9 secret treasure demon god diagram, Yanjun could easily use the innate abilities of hundreds of demon gods sealed in the demon god diagram, as well as hundreds of terrifying spells. When the hundreds of spells blasted into the devour black moon, they disappeared without a trace, unable to harm Yang Feng in the slightest. Yanjun and Yang Feng were like two ferocious humanoid fiend gods. Everywhere they passed, berserk energy shocks spread in all directions. If it was on Earth, the battle between Yanjun and Yang Feng would have already caused the Earth to crack and rivers to flow in reverse. That was because the Solar Divine Palace was the residence of the Solar Emperor. It had withstood the battle between the two of them without being damaged at all. He didn't utilize any secret treasure and suppressed Yanjun. How terrifying! Yanjun used the rank 9 secret treasure, demon god diagram. Even if he can't display the full effect of the demon god diagram, he's still being suppressed by Lei Ming. It's really unbelievable. When the glorious sun warlocks in the distance saw this scene, their eyes revealed a look of astonishment. Yanjun, who was just a glorious sun warlock, was able to use the level 9 secret treasure demon god diagram, which already made many glorious sun warlocks look at him in a new light. After all, level 9 secret treasures were treasures that only infinity warlocks could fully exert. In theory, glorious sun warlocks couldn't use them. But what shocked the other glorious sun warlocks even more was that Yang Feng didn't use any secret treasures. By relying on his own power, he suppressed Yanjun, who used the demon god diagram. In order to contend against the powerhouses of other races, human warlocks developed all kinds of incredible and powerful secret treasures. It was with the help of secret treasures that human warlocks could surpass other powerful beings in terms of strength. But now Yanjun, who used the level 9 secret treasure demon god diagram, was suppressed by Yang Feng, who didn't use any secret treasures. This was simply inconceivable. Yanjun, who is one with the diagram, uttered a strange voice. Lei Ming, you can't defeat me. Take out the Sun God Empyrean flower and we'll divide it equally. Then we can join forces to kill the rest and divide their collection. If you want to share the Sun God Empyrean flower with me, you must be strong enough. You don't have the qualifications to share the Sun God Empyrean flower with me. However, your strength is enough for me to use a little bit of my true power. Yang Feng smiled, the 9 worlds inside him operated wildly, and a fearsome life force soared into the sky, attracted a copious amount of sun force, and formed a fearsome beam of light. Primal Chaos Annihilation Fist. Yang Feng took a step forward and appeared in front of Yan Jun containing wisps of the essence of power, the power of the 9 worlds gathered in his fist, pulverizing, shattering, collapsing, and destroying everything. Turtle God Shield. Yan Jun's face suddenly changed dramatically, and his heart stirred. An Annette magic tortoise, known for its defense, suddenly appeared, and the huge turtle shield engraved with countless defensive runes blocked in front of him. Boom! When Yang Feng's fist slammed into the huge turtle god shield, the turtle god shield, which was known for its invincible defense, shattered. Yang Feng's fist slammed into Yan Jun. A tyrannical force broke out in an instant, and a frightening force penetrated the level 9 secret treasure transcendent diagram and slammed into Yan Jun. Yan Jun spewed out a large mouthful of blood, slammed into the broken wall of the sun god shrine, and spewed out another mouthful of blood. The level 9 secret treasure transcendent diagram is really amazing. Unfortunately, you're too weak. You haven't even exerted 1/10 of the level 9 secret treasure's power. Level 8 secret treasures are the most suitable for glorious dawn warlocks. Yang Feng's body blurred, and he appeared behind Yan Jun. The Devour Black Moon suddenly appeared and swallowed Yan Jun. Yan Jun was seriously injured by Yang Feng's punch. Although he didn't die due to the protection of the transcendent diagram, but because he lost control of his power, he lost control of the transcendent diagram. Struggling inside Yang Feng's Devour Black Moon, he screamed miserably. After 20+ breaths of time, a glorious dawn core and a level 9 secret treasure transcendent diagram floated out of the Devour Black Moon and fell into Yang Feng's hand. Do the two of you still want to fight me? Standing in the center of the Devour Black Moon, Yang Feng looked like an invincible god as he looked at Lan Ba and the beautiful woman with dragon horns and said slowly, "I'm not your opponent. I'm leaving." The beautiful woman with dragon horns took a deep look at Yang Feng, her eyes filled with apprehension, and then her figure fluttered, and she turned into a stream of light shooting into the distance. Lan Ba looked at Yang Feng standing proudly in the void with an enigmatic gleam in his eyes, and he said slowly, "If we fight, do we have to decide who lives and who dies?" Exuding frigid killing intent, Yang Feng said slowly, "Of course, this is not a place to swap pointers. Anyone who stands in front of me is my enemy. Anyone who dares to be my enemy must die." In the Sun God Shrine, who knows how many glorious dawn warlocks are hidden? Each of these glorious dawn warlocks possesses queer and unimaginable means. If Yang Feng can't show his domineering side, these glorious dawn warlocks will swarm him and tear him to pieces. Lan Ba looked at Yang Feng standing proudly in the void, his complexion alternating between green and white, and a myriad of thoughts swirled in his mind. However, when he thought that Yang Feng didn't even use a secret treasure to deal with Yan Jun, he shuddered inside. "I'm not your opponent either." Lan Ba sighed slightly, then blurred into motion, turned into a stream of light, and flew into the distance. Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he turned into a Devour Black Moon and flew out of the Sun God Shrine domineeringly. The glorious dawn warlocks looked at Yang Feng flying into the distance and looked at each other. Many warlocks gritted their teeth, turned into streams of light, and chased after Yang Feng. The Sun God Empyrean Flower is a peerless treasure that can enable people to break through the God-man boundary. Knowing that they are not Yang Feng's opponent, the glorious dawn warlocks still followed him from a distance, wanting to see if there is a chance. For these glorious dawn warlocks, so long as they are given a chance, they have a way to snatch the Sun God Empyrean Flower from Yang Feng. "Humph, you're too close. Go to hell." After flying for hundreds of kilometers, Yang Feng suddenly snorted coldly, his figure fluttered, and he appeared in an empty space. He extended his hand and grabbed an invisible glorious dawn warlock, and the Devour Black Moon suddenly appeared and swallowed the glorious dawn warlock. Along with a scream, a glorious dawn core appeared in Yang Feng's hand. What a cruel method! What a cruel fellow! What a cruel and merciless fellow! The glorious dawn warlocks following behind Yang Feng with the idea of killing him and seizing his treasures felt their hearts shake, and they moved further away and used spells to spy on Yang Feng's movements. If it was an ordinary treasure, seeing how powerful and cruel Yang Feng is, the other glorious Dawn warlocks would have distanced themselves, not daring to compete with him. But this is the Sun God Empyrean Flower, a peerless treasure that can enable people to break through the God-man boundary. Once a warlock's soul aptitude is promoted to inferior level 9, then before breaking through to the Infinity Warlock realm, there will be virtually no bottleneck, and it will be far easier for them to advance to the Warlock Monarch and Holy Spirit Warlock realms than for other warlocks. Even if it is a Holy Spirit Warlock rank powerhouse, if they get accurate information about the Sun God Empyrean Flower, they will definitely take action in person to compete for a treasure like the Sun God Empyrean Flower. Chapter 693. Strange fluctuations spread among the glorious Sun Warlock rank powerhouses, and the originally solitary glorious Sun Warlocks gradually united and formed a huge group of nearly 300 people. The glorious Sun Warlocks in Sun God Shrine are geniuses among geniuses of various planes. When nearly 300 glorious Sun Warlocks join forces, even if they each have their own ulterior motives, they are still enough to slay a bright world warlock. Yang Feng frowned slightly and mused, sure enough, they joined forces. These glorious Sun Warlocks are elites from various planes. Once they discover that they aren't Yang Feng's opponent, then as long as someone links up with them, they can naturally form a huge temporary force. The Sun God Empyrean Flower is too tempting. No matter who it is, they won't give it up. Even Nangong Wumi and Bai Yuxian cast spells to spy on Yang Feng's whereabouts from afar. If Yang Feng is invincible, they naturally won't take action. But if Yang Feng reveals a flaw, they won't hesitate to snatch the Sun God Empyrean Flower. After all, the relationship between them was merely that of ordinary friends. Lei Ming, hand over the Sun God Empyrean Flower. We can let you go. We don't want to be enemies with you. As long as you hand over the Sun God Empyrean Flower, you can go. Pinnacle glorious Sun Warlock rank aura came from afar, and a bear-like voice reverberated in the area. Almost at the same time, nearly 300 glorious Sun Warlock rank auras rose from all directions and swept towards Yang Feng. Among the dense glorious Sun Warlock rank auras, there is no lack of world force auras. These glorious Sun Warlocks are supreme geniuses from various planes, and there is no lack of peerless geniuses who formed a virtual world. When these geniuses join forces, even a quasi-infinity warlock rank powerhouse will find it difficult to contend against them head-on. Even if the weak unite, they are still weak. Weaklings like you dare to attack me? You overestimate yourselves. I hereby announce that all those who have chased after us must die. Yang Feng smiled coldly, then his figure blurred, and he appeared dozens of kilometers away. He escaped. Lei Ming escaped. After him. We can't let him escape. When the nearly 300 glorious Sun Warlocks saw Yang Feng escape, there was a look of excitement in their eyes, and they cast secret methods and turned into streams of light chasing after Yang Feng. Many glorious Sun Warlocks silently recited incantations, took out secret treasures, and began to cast spells to interfere with Yang Feng. In front of Yang Feng, the earth suddenly trembled, and a 10,000-meter tall mountain rose into the air and blocked in front of him. Trifling tricks. Yang Feng snorted coldly, and the Devour Black Moon suddenly appeared and slammed into the 10,000-meter tall mountain. Wherever the Black Moon passed, the mountain rocks were swallowed and formed a large hole. When Yang Feng crossed the 10,000-meter tall mountain, streams of ice surged and formed a layer of ice thousands of meters thick. Yang Feng slammed into the layer of ice, forcibly devoured a large hole in it, and then flew away without hesitation. Spatial barriers, mountains, illusion labyrinths, icebergs, and other obstacles strangely appeared in front of Yang Feng. Faced with these obstacles, Yang Feng just urged the Devour Black Moon to protect himself and crushed all the forces blocking his way. The nearly 300 glorious Sun Warlocks could only watch helplessly as Yang Feng got further and further away from them. Speed was one of the greatest weapons of the strong. The reason why the status of high-level warlocks was far above that of low-level warlocks was because they came and went like the wind. Even if they couldn't defeat the joint efforts of low-level warlocks, they could still easily escape and look for opportunities to kill those low-level warlocks. Really? I didn't expect that I would encounter such an outrageous genius when I came to pick the Sun God Empyrean flower. However, it's your misfortune to run into me, venerable magic mirror. Among the glorious sun warlocks, an ordinary-looking human warlock wearing a silver warlock robe frowned slightly, his eyes shimmered fiercely, and he took out a silver mirror and pointed it at Yang Feng. An infinity warlock rank fluctuation of power streaked across the silver-robed warlock's body. In an instant, a silver ray shot out from the mirror and shot towards Yang Feng. The silver ray pierced through Yang Feng's devour black moon and blasted into him. Yang Feng's body collapsed and disappeared in an instant. Venerable Magic Mirror is a genuine intermediate infinity warlock rank powerhouse. This time, he obtained information that the Sun God Empyrean flower has matured, which is why he risked having his cultivation base suppressed to sneak into Sun God Shrine. In the outside world, with Venerable Magic Mirror's infinity warlock rank power, even if 300 glorious sun warlocks besiege him, he can use various secret methods to kill them one by one. But in Sun God Shrine, powerhouses like Lan Ba and Ba Sun have the ability to threaten his life. If it wasn't for the Sun God Empyrean flower being too precious, he wouldn't have come to such a dangerous place in person. However, when Venerable Magic Mirror sneaked into Sun God Shrine with his true body, he can use this secret method to display a trace of infinity warlock rank power in an instant, which is how he was able to draw Yang Feng into his level 9 secret treasure silver glow magic mirror. Yang Feng's vision blurred. After he woke up, he found that he is in a space with a diameter of about 30 square meters and engraved with countless mysterious runes. Yang Feng's heart stirred. He looked at the surrounding environment and quickly made a judgment. Shit, I was hit by the spell of another powerhouse. This is his secret treasure space. Warlocks are powerful and have all kinds of incredible and powerful secret treasures. Even if they are far stronger than other warlocks, they can die if they are careless in battle. Unfortunately, to trap me with such a secret treasure is a pipe dream. Yang Feng smiled coldly and waved his hand, and a swarm of black devourers flew out from his hand and pounced on the silver light wall engraved with countless mysterious runes. When the black devourers pounced on the silver wall, they frantically devoured the silver wall's materials, power, and everything else. Damn it, my silver glow magic mirror. Stinking brat, you deserve to die. Venerable Magic Mirror's strongest secret treasure is the silver glow magic mirror, with which he is connected by heart and soul. When the silver glow magic mirror issued mournful cries, he sensed it and saw Yang Feng's devourers devour the silver glow magic mirror. I originally wanted to spare your worthless life, but now you're dead. Now go to hell. Venerable Magic Mirror's eyes flashed fiercely, and he roared, silently recited an incantation, and pointed at the silver glow magic mirror. Inside the silver glow magic mirror, the silver wall shone brightly, and twisted silver runes formed a silver flame that drifted towards Yang Feng. When Yang Feng saw the silver flame, his complexion changed dramatically, and he waved his hand, and a devour black moon swept towards the silver flame. The silver flame, which seems to have no substance and energy, strangely passed through the devour black moon and drifted towards Yang Feng. Within a breath of time, it landed on Yang Feng. Silver flames instantly ignited in Yang Feng's soul, frantically burning it. Yang Feng's face twisted, and intense pain engulfed him, making him twitch all over, and countless blue veins bulged from every corner of his body. The silver flame is called Silver Glow Soul Refining Flame, and it is a kind of flame that can directly attack the soul of a warlock. If Venerable Magic Mirror was in his heyday, he could even burn the soul of an infinity warlock into the silver glow magic mirror to ashes within a quarter of an hour. The defensive power and offensive power of the silver glow magic mirror are inferior among level 9 secret treasures. But its attack method is very strange. With the power of the silver glow magic mirror, Venerable Magic Mirror was able to kill 2 junior infinity warlocks in a sneak attack. Venerable Magic Mirror smiled coldly. You're dead after being hit by my silver light soul refining flame. Along with a crisp sound, cracks appeared on the surface of the silver glow magic mirror. My silver glow magic mirror. In the next moment, along with Venerable Magic Mirror's horrified roar, the Level 9 secret treasure silver glow magic mirror shattered into countless fragments that splashed about. Looking at the shattered silver glow magic mirror, Venerable Magic Mirror's heart is about to break. It is extremely difficult to find a secret treasure that is completely compatible with your secret method. He spent thousands of years to ask an alchemist grandmaster to refine the silver glow magic mirror for him. Now that the silver glow magic mirror has been broken, his strength has dropped by more than 30%. When Yang Feng emerged from the silver glow magic mirror, a swarm of black devourers suddenly flew towards Yang Feng, and frantically devoured the silver glow magic mirror. That's Lei Ming. He showed up. How come he's here? Everyone, let's kill him together. Kill him, and we'll divide the Sun God Empyrean flower equally. When the glorious Sun Warlocks saw Yang Feng appear next to them, their eyes flashed with excitement, and they shouted, "A bunch of ants, since you want to die so badly, then I'll fulfill your wish." Enduring the severe pain, Yang Feng showed a ferocious smile, runes flashed, and 9 dark passages appeared in front of him. Tens of thousands of 4th-generation battle robots flew out from the 9 passages in an instant and shot towards the glorious Sun Warlocks. Kill them all. Leave no one alive. From behind the tens of thousands of 4th-generation battle robots came Yang Feng's frigid voice filled with killing intent. Chapter 694. A glorious Sun Warlock has just cast Starfall and condensed a star barreling towards Yang Feng. Following afterimages, 6 Type 2 Undyings appeared in front of the glorious Sun Warlock, slashed with their blades, split his life force field, and chopped him into 7 pieces. Mechanical golems? Trifling golems want to contend against us glorious Sun Warlocks. What wishful thinking! The glorious Sun Warlock snorted coldly, and his body that was chopped into 7 pieces suddenly changed into a feathered snake with wings and fought fiercely with the 6 Type 2 Undyings. At this moment, 3 Mistwalkers disintegrated into gray mist that swept towards the glorious Sun Warlock's avatar of a feathered snake. The glorious Sun Warlock's avatar of a feathered snake suddenly trembled, and the life force inside him disappeared like a flood. Damn it! Shocked, the glorious Sun Warlock was about to cast a fire spell to destroy the strange mist formed by the Mistwalkers. Several Type 2 Void Assassins emerged from the void, slashed with their blades, and chopped the glorious Sun Warlock's avatar of a feathered snake into pieces again. After the glorious Sun Warlock was chopped into pieces again, the life force of the countless pieces quickly disappeared like a mummy with all the water sucked out. No, I won't die. How can I die at the hands of these golems? A glorious sun core trembled slightly and issued a heart-wrenching roar. After absorbing a dozen-plus pieces of flesh, it suddenly ejected and tried to escape into the distance. Along with flashes of lightning, dozens of Type 2 lightning manipulators fired silver lightning that slammed into the glorious sun core and blasted the glorious Sun Warlock's flesh and soul to pieces. On the other side, a glorious Sun Warlock turned into a 100-meter-long 6-headed gold dragon, and the 6 heads fired dragon breaths of light, darkness, ice, poison, fire, and gravity barreling towards the Type 2 Undyings. The Type 2 Undyings activated level 5 energy shields one after another. However, under the bombardment of the dragon breaths, the shields shattered like bubbles and were swallowed by the dragon breaths. Right at this moment, a 15-meter-tall Vajra main battle robot equipped with a main cannon flashed. It was fully equipped with a powerful superalloy armor and was up to 15 meters tall. A resplendent beam slammed into the 6-headed gold dragon, pierced through it, and evaporated a copious amount of flesh and blood. A huge hole was blasted open in the body of the 6-headed gold dragon transformed from a glorious Dawn Warlock, and a large amount of blood spilled out of the hole. But it still didn't die. Countless runes flashed, and the 6-headed golden dragon that had been pierced through instantly recovered from all of its injuries. Evidently, the glorious Sun Warlock used a powerful recovery secret method. The six-headed gold dragon has just recovered, when 7 resplendent beams blasted from different directions and blasted the six-headed gold dragon apart again. Type 2 sealers suddenly flew out and unleashed sealing light that slammed into the six-headed gold dragon and abruptly wore down the power of the glorious sun warlock. Oh! The six-headed gold dragon faced upwards and roared. Countless runes condensed around it, shone, and it instantly recovered. The moment the six-headed gold dragon recovered, it was blasted into pieces by countless beams again. Hundreds of Type 2 undyings strangely appeared beside the six-headed gold dragon, slashed at it with their blades, and chopped it into countless pieces in an instant. Dozens of thunder manipulators controlled the lightning, which danced like silver snakes. They bombarded the pieces of the six-headed golden dragon's body, turning them into charred, lifeless pieces. After the six-headed gold dragon was blasted apart, a palm-sized silver-winged snake blurred and appeared tens of kilometers away. The glorious sun warlocks in Sun God Shrine are rare geniuses in the outside world. Each of them is a fearsome existence that can defeat ordinary weak divine force rank gods. Such powerhouses have endless life-saving secret methods, making them extremely difficult to kill. When Yang Feng fought Ba Sun, Jiang Qi, Yan Jun, and Che Jinquang, the 4 monster-level powerhouses, he used Fate Algorithm, a peerless secret method he obtained from the Eternal Continent, to cut off all their escape secret methods and kill them. Yang Feng's true body has also mastered more than a dozen death substitution secret methods. As long as he isn't killed by karma spells or peerless secret methods, it will be very difficult for him to truly die. As soon as the silver-winged snake appeared, a Type 2 undying suddenly flew out from the side and slashed it into pieces. Countless bolts of lightning slammed into the flesh of the winged snake and blasted it into ashes, leaving only a glorious sun core behind. Caught off guard, the nearly 300 glorious sun warlocks were besieged by the tens of thousands of 4th-generation battle robots. In an instant, more than 20 glorious sun warlocks were killed and more than 100 glorious sun warlocks were seriously injured by the 4th-generation battle robots. The remaining 100-plus glorious sun warlock geniuses began to go all out, unleashed peerless secret methods, and used the strongest secret methods they mastered to fight the 4th-generation battle robots. Watching this scene from afar, Nangong Wumi was struck dumb. Amazing! To be able to resist those glorious sun warlocks by himself, he's a monster. Bai Yuxian, who was hiding in the distance, watched this scene with a spell, and her heart filled with shock. Amazing! Are those undying mountains golems? So strong, did they obtain the golem lord's inheritance? No. Golem celestial body, did they obtain golem dynasty's alchemy from the golem celestial body? Amazing! That guy is really a monster. That's too scary. In addition to the nearly 300 glorious sun warlocks who formed an alliance, there are even more glorious sun warlocks in Sun God Shrine who didn't participate in the battle watching this side with spells. When they saw Yang Feng contend against nearly 300 glorious sun geniuses by himself and kill more than 20 glorious sun geniuses in a single exchange, they were struck dumb and shock filled their hearts. Boom! Boom! Tremendous explosions reverberated in the area. At virtually every moment, there are 4th-generation battle robots being destroyed by the glorious sun warlocks. The 200-plus glorious sun warlocks are indeed peerless geniuses from different planes. With absolute magic power, they suppressed the tens of thousands of 4th-generation battle robots and smashed them to pieces. Even so, under the siege of the 4th-generation battle robots, some of the 200-plus glorious sun warlocks still die from time to time. Surrender! Lei Ming, hand over the sun god Empyrean flower. Otherwise, only death will await you. A glorious sun warlock who formed a virtual world waved his hand, and a fire dragon suddenly appeared and pounced towards the mist formed by a dozen-plus mistwalkers. In an instant, the violent fire dragon turned into a sea of fire covering dozens of square kilometers and swept the mist formed by the dozen-plus mistwalkers. Burned by the fire containing the law of fire, the mistwalkers who are immune to physical attacks were forcibly refined by the violent fire dragon. A bunch of idiots, let's start the second part of the game. Yang Feng smiled coldly, Then 9 whirlpools appeared on him again, and a swarm of 4th-generation battle robots flew out from the 9 worlds inside him, turned into a steel cloud, and rushed towards the 200-plus glorious sun warlocks. Damn it! How come he has so many golems? Damn it! How are we going to kill so many golems? When the 200-plus glorious sun warlocks saw this scene, they were struck dumb, and despair appeared in their eyes. Faced with the 40,000 4th-generation battle robots, they had to use all their trump cards to barely suppress them. Now that there were 60,000 more battle robots, they were in despair. Shit, there's more over there. So many golems. What's going on? Who can tell me what's going on? All of a sudden, the glorious sun warlocks turned their heads and looked into the distance. They saw the sound of engines resound through the sky, and a dense swarm of battle robots flying this way from all directions have completely surrounded the 200-plus glorious sun warlocks. Most of the battle robots surrounding them are 3rd-generation battle robots. Only their weapon systems have been strengthened once, and their overall function is almost a generation behind that of the 4th-generation battle robots. However, their number is as high as 6 million, far surpassing that of the 4th-generation battle robots. In an instant, a rain of light blasted out from the 3rd-generation battle robots' weapons barreling towards the 200-plus glorious sun warlocks. Under the bombardment of the dense rain of light, the 200-plus glorious sun warlocks can only cast secret methods and defensive spells to resist the rain of light. The 100,000 4th-generation battle robots were like a sharp knife that stabbed into the group of more than 200 glorious sun geniuses and started slaughtering them. Under the frenzied siege of more than 1 million 3rd-generation battle robots and 100,000 4th-generation battle robots, famous glorious sun warlock geniuses of various planes died one after another and turned into glorious sun cores. Welcome to Immortal Cultivation Audiobooks, your gateway to the mystical world of Xianxia. Dive into legendary tales of martial arts, spiritual growth, and immortal ascension. Here, we bring you full-length English audiobooks of the best Wuxia and Xianxia stories, from young prodigies to ancient sect wars. Perfect for fans of Against the Gods, Martial World, and tales of demons and gods.